Welcome back, everyone. I am Jen Johnson, your Director of Special Education. I hope you had a chance to recharge over the summer and are coming into this year ready to do the incredible work we do together. Each new school year brings its own challenges and opportunities. And while the landscape of education is always changing and shifting, one thing remains constant: the power of our collaboration and our shared commitment to the student. Today we're going to discuss a variety of topics. Here's our agenda for today. We'll start with a quick refresher on what the cooperative is, our purpose, our structure, and how working together allows us to provide programming and supports that would be difficult and costly for any one district to offer in rural Minnesota. From there, we'll move into an overview of some of the support PBEC provides. The supports we do not touch on today will be highlighted in next month's presentation. Next, we'll talk about our professional learning priorities for the 25-26 school year. We'll also cover e-learning for those districts who utilize e-learning for weather-related learning days. And finally, we'll review evaluations and other important topics. We know that education is evolving rapidly. Students' needs, state requirements, and best practices are constantly shifting. For rural school districts, the pace of change can make it nearly impossible to provide specialized programming and supports in every area. The reality is that some programs require specialized staff, training, or resources that aren't sustainable for one district to maintain alone. By working together, our districts can pool expertise, shared resources, and create opportunities that wouldn't otherwise be possible. This collaboration not only reduces costs, but also ensures that all students, no matter where they live, have access to the high-quality supports and services they need to thrive. Every special education cooperative in Minnesota is structured a little differently when it comes to funding. For PBEC, our primary funding source is federal special education dollars. We receive each member district's federal allocation. However, those federal funds alone aren't enough to sustain the services, staff, and supports we provide. To bridge that gap, at the end of each school year, each member district receives an invoice for services rendered. This combination of federal funds and district contributions ensures we can continue delivering high-quality specialized services to students across all member districts. Next, we're going to look at the Paul Bunyan Education Coop's Joint Powers Agreement. This chart shows the structure of PBEC and how we're organized to best support our member districts. This structure allows us to operate efficiently while ensuring every district has access to specialized knowledge and resources, regardless of the size or location. I would like to take an opportunity to highlight the role of the executive director of the cooperative. This role is different than the role of the director of special education. Partnerships are the foundation of our work as a cooperative. We can't do this in isolation. We succeed when we collaborate with our member districts, staff, families, and community organizations. My role is to maintain open communication, foster trust, and make sure our efforts are aligned so we're all moving in the same direction for students. Fiscal responsibility is more than balancing a budget. It's about making thoughtful decisions that maximize the resources we have, ensuring that they're used where they have the greatest impact. I work closely with our finance team and member districts to keep our programs sustainable and responsive to student needs. Continuous improvement means we're never satisfied with status quo. We evaluate our programs, look at our data, and identify where we can grow. Whether that's through new initiatives, professional learning, or refining our systems, the goal is always to improve student outcomes and strengthen the cooperative as a whole. Now I would like to highlight the role of the Director of Special Education. I am the Director of Special Education for our 6 member districts and 2 charter schools in the Brainerd Lakes area. One of the key responsibilities of this role is to ensure that we meet all federal, state, and local requirements for special education. That means keeping our systems and timelines tight, making sure IEPs are compliant, and that due process procedures are followed. It's not just about checking boxes. It's about protecting students' rights and ensuring we're providing the services the students are entitled to. Another major area is supporting the people doing the work every day: our teachers, related service providers, and administrators. My role here is to provide expertise, problem solving alongside teams, and help strengthen our instructional practices so we're meeting the needs of all students. This also includes helping programs grow and evolve so they're effective, equitable, and sustainable. And finally, the role is about looking ahead, creating systems that set us up for success in the future. That means planning strategically, making sure we have the right structures in place, and fostering collaboration across departments and districts. It's about building capacity and leading innovation and making sure our services are student-centered, not just compliance-driven. The next important role I would like to highlight is the role of the assistant director. The assistant director is an individual you most likely will get to know more than you would the director of special education. This individual is frequently in buildings, attending CSTs, IEP meetings, and building level meetings. The assistant director plays a critical role in making sure our programs are implemented with fidelity. They work directly with the coordinator, specialists, and building leaders to provide guidance, troubleshoot challenges, and ensure students are receiving the services outlined in their IEPs. This is about keeping the work grounded in the classroom while supporting the people doing the work. Compliance is everyone's responsibilities, but our assistant directors are the front line in ensuring teams are meeting all timelines, procedures, and documentation requirements. This includes reviewing IEPs, monitoring the evaluation process, and supporting staff in understanding and applying the law in practical ways. We know that high-quality service depends on knowledgeable, skilled staff. Assistant directors support this by providing feedback, leading professional development, and creating opportunities for collaboration. The goal is to build confidence and expertise across our teams so we can continually improve the outcomes for students. Coordinators are the lifeline of the cooperative. They are our daily point of contact, boots on the ground positions. Coordinators are the daily point of contact for our special education teachers and service providers. They observe, coach, and support staff in delivering high-quality instruction and services. This means being available for real-time problem solving and helping staff feel confident and supported in their work. Coordinators keep their finger on the pulse of how our programs are running. They monitor service delivery, review student progress data, and facilitate communication between team members. Their focus is making sure programs are not only compliant, but also effective in helping students achieve their goals. While assistant directors oversee compliance at system levels, coordinators ensure compliance in the day-to-day work. They review IEPs, guide teams through evaluations, and make sure processes are completed accurately and on time. It's about translating policy into practice so staff can do the right thing for students while meeting legal standards. Our school psychologists serve an important role in special education students' school career. School psychologists work with the entire team, teachers, service providers, families, and building leadership, to develop evaluation plans that are tailored to students' unique needs. The process is collaborative from the start, ensuring that multiple perspectives inform what we assess and why. When it comes to evaluation, school psychologists bring specialized skills in selecting, administering, and interpreting assessments. They contribute these findings to the team alongside other data sources, so we have a full picture of the student's strengths and needs. Eligibility is never decided by one person. School psychologists participate in the team discussion, bringing their expertise in interpreting results and applying state criteria. But the decision is always a collaborative one, with every team member's input considered. In several of our member districts, the role of the school psychologist goes beyond evaluation and compliance. They provide expertise in learning, behavior, and social-emotional development. This allows them to guide programming decisions and help ensure students are able to access the services and supports they need in order to be successful. It's important to note that this role can look different depending on the district. Each district determines if and how their school psychologist is involved in providing this type of support. That's why you may see some variation in school psychologists engage in programming across our cooperative. Please check with your building principal for the role in your specific building. The due process spreadsheet. As we move into the 25-26 school year, we're introducing a due process spreadsheet to track all due process activities, which includes evaluations, IEP timelines, and service dates in one shared location. The goal is simple: ensure we meet every timeline. This isn't just compliance, it's about FAPE. Delays in timelines mean delays in service and programming. We've seen challenges across districts where tracking hasn't been consistent. This tool adds support and accountability. Remember, evaluations drive the IEP, and the IEP drives programming. Staying on time sets the foundation for effective services. You'll receive training and details soon. Updates will be made through child study meetings. This is a team effort, and I appreciate your commitment to keeping services on track for all students. Professional learning for the 25-26 school year. This year, we're focusing on strengthening our foundation and understanding student behavior so we all use the same language and tools. We'll ground ourselves in the basic: why behavior happens, the ABCs of behavior, and how the FBA process identifies function. From there, we'll connect research-based strategies with prevention, teaching, response, and reinforcement to build consistent, effective supports. By the end of the year, these skills should feel natural, and we'll also layer some additional professional learning around prior written notices and IEP goal writing. This year, some of our districts have adopted e-learning or flex learning for weather-related days. And there is also a possibility of member districts also adopting planned digital learning days. So we want to make sure you are aware of the due process requirements for these different learning days. This guidance was developed following a recent MDE complaint to ensure clarity on e-learning, flex learning, and digital learning days. These board-adopted plans allow up to 5 weather-related closures or scheduled digital days, and they must mirror the rigor of in-person instruction. For students on IEPs, the IEP team needs to plan ahead for access, accommodations, and services and document this in the IEP. The guidance we have developed will assist teams in navigating the documentation of e-learning days in the IEP. This topic will also be discussed more in depth for the member districts that have these days in child studies in September and October. SLD evaluations, everyone's favorite topic. In the past, our default practice for SLD evaluations has been to assess students in every academic area, even if the concern was isolated to just 1 or 2 areas. While the intention was thoroughness, this often led to unnecessary testing, longer evaluation timelines, and reports filled with data that didn't actually answer our core question: does the student meet criteria for SLD in the area of concern? Going forward, we're shifting our practice to a more targeted, data-driven approach. From now on, teams will only evaluate in the academic areas where there is a clear, documented area of concern and intervention has been implemented and documented. We are shifting this practice because it aligns with Minnesota rule and IDEA, which require us to evaluate only in areas of suspected disability. Not everything, just in case. This approach allows us to focus time and resources on what truly matters for eligibility decisions and programming, while ensuring we have strong intervention data before moving into evaluation. It also reduces testing fatigue for students, streamlines our reports, and ultimately makes our findings stronger and more defensible. This change is about working smarter, not cutting corners, keeping evaluations focused, evidence-based, and directly connected to the student needs. I want to highlight a few more updates to close out our welcome back here. The PBEC online binder has a new section. It's called What's New. It's right on the landing page, so when you go to the online binder, it's going to show up right there. This is where we'll highlight updated guidance, new practices, and revised procedures. Instead of sending multiple emails, this will be your one-stop spot to check for changes. I encourage you to make it part of your regular routine to glance at this section so you're always up to date. We've also updated SPED forms, service drop-downs. You are going to notice when you start writing IEPs this year that our drop-down list has been shortened significantly. Previously, there were far too many custom titles. After working with SPED forms, we learned that custom reports don't pull district-created service titles. This directly impacted our ability to complete workload analyses and other important work. By reducing and standardizing the list, we're ensuring cleaner data, more accurate reporting, and a better ability to analyze workload and service delivery. There will be guidance on what the old drop-down service menu was, and you'll now see what the new one. So please look for that document. Related service provider assignments will be provided to all principals. So please check with your principal on who is assigned to your building for the 25-26 school year. And finally, drum roll please, we are moving forward with electronic files. No more brown folders. More information to come on this topic during your child study meetings. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to these important updates, and I want to wish you a great start to your school year. Thank you.